I always knew Horikoshi Sensei was a good writer, but I have to admit, I was underestimating his skills. When I remembered All for One reaching out his hand to Shigaraki, and then he drug him into the darkness, and we know what path Shigaraki has led ever since that day, and then I think about what Gentle realized in this chapter, with how he brought Labrava down a very dark path, and in a way, he kind of ruined her life. I couldn't help but see the correlation there. Another crazy thing I saw was this. When All for One was fighting All Might, he's like, when you took down my allies, my people that helped me reach where I was at, one by one with your fist, to achieve so-called symbol of peace, it angered All for One. And it was thanks to All Might crushing the ideals of All for One that managed to allow All Might to achieve number one hero status and symbol of peace. So think about this fight. Think about what this fight is about right now. It's a clash of ideals. It's a clash of, in a way, two heroes going up against each other. And it was stated, and I even made a video literally a day ago saying that it's not just Gentle trying to crush the dreams of others to achieve his goal. Izuku is also doing this. To achieve the number one hero status, he must stomp on everybody else's ideals that want to become number one hero. And not just people that want to become the number one hero, but people that want to become heroes in general. If he has to compete against them in a hero course, which we have seen this already, when Izuku and everybody else from UA was fighting to get their license, there were some that said that they've done this many times and it was their last attempt. So when you see stuff like this, it reminds me that just Izuku is not innocent as well. He may be our MC, he may be a good dude down to earth, and he doesn't mean to harm anybody or ruin their life, but he probably has already destroyed someone's life just as easily as what happened to Gentle. For all we know, something happened to Gentle with him losing his test multiple times and failing it. Most likely could be whatever Izuku did to individuals, taking them down, just circumstances. So it just puts everything into perspective when you think about that. And just the parallels to the All for One versus One for All fight to Gentle versus Izuku is absolutely insane. I mean, to the whole thing with, crying for help. I mean, Labrava's been a big part of this fight. She's been like that third party, someone that's been cheering for Gentle since the very beginning. Like, you gotta win, Gentle, you gotta win. You gotta win, please win, do not lose. She's been doing this constantly. Almost every single chapter you see her crying, and she's really cheering for Gentle to win. And in reality, if we look at inside of the My Hero Academia story, she's technically the only one on Gentle's side. Yes, there's a lot of fans of him outside of the manga, for instance, me and others, but inside of the series, Labrava is the only one cheering for Gentle, and the equivalent of that is exactly what happened for All Might, when everybody was on television watching the fight, seeing All for One versus All Might, the symbol of peace going up against this symbol of evil itself. Everybody was cheering for All Might. When they saw the man power down and all that, they were shocked, they were stunned, and that's exactly what's happened to Labrava, seeing Gentle falling to the ground, looking absolutely pathetic. It's very similar, the entire message of this, and one of the big things that All Might said in that fight against All for One is that, because I am a hero, because I have things to protect and people that depend on me, heroes cannot lose. And you see the man bulk up and going for his final blow, which is the equivalent of what this chapter was. Gentle tried to go in with everything he had to win, even pushing his limits itself, going beyond anything he has done before, even casting aside the ability of not wanting to harm someone, just to be able to save Labrava and make her happy. He tried to push himself very hard, but in the end, he lost. What this lets us know is that not all heroes can win. And that is the harsh reality of this chapter. And in a way, when you look at this chapter, it's a what if. What if All Might lost? Because if we spin the story a little bit, okay? We could spin that, and we, as the audience that want Gentle to win, we just watched our hero fall to the ground and lose. And that's kind of what this chapter was really trying to show. And this is where I said I really underestimated Horikoshi. I did not think he was this skilled with just parallels and stuff. That's just what really threw me for a loop when I started noticing that. And I just want to say right now that not everybody can be All Might. That's pretty much what this chapter is trying to say. If you remember the fight with All Might, okay, with All Might versus All for One, we had a little flashback of the previous user of One for All, and it was All Might's teacher. And he remembers what her saying was, always smile, always be someone that can save the heart of others, and, think about their safety. And the words that All Might's teacher said is exactly what Gentle was doing in this chapter. Think about it. When La Brava was scared, she didn't want Gentle to lose. She was like, let him go, let him go. The equivalent to that, when he realized what was going on, he wanted to think of her safety. Instead of thinking about his own self, which is something that has happened with the constant heroes we've seen being very selfless, like Izuku, for instance, he throws aside his own well-being, his own dreams, his own ideals, whatever, to be able to save someone around him. And in that moment, he realized he needed to save La Brava. He needed to keep her safe. He needed to save her heart, because if he didn't, something much worse would happen. She would probably die. And not because someone would kill her, but she would do it to herself. And he realizes this, and in that moment, he tries to protect her heart, and that is why he surrenders at the end. And so, the words of All Might's teacher can be applied to what Gentle did. And that just really hit me. I'm like, holy crap. This man did such a heroic thing in that moment, and it got me the feels. It just, I seriously, I'm not even gonna joke, I had a couple of tears come down my eyes. I'm like, yo, the message here of this man just sacrificing himself just to be able to help her in some way, to give her some form of future, it blew me away. But let's get into the deeper message here. With him losing, and now seeing how a hero lost, and heroes can lose, why? Why did he lose? Let's ask that question. See, we know he lost because at the end of the day, Izuku's the MC. If we're getting technical, he's the MC, and so he needs to win. But in reality, though, if we're taking words from, All for One itself, in reality, did he lack determination? Did Gentle lack determination to achieve his ideals? Did he lack the strength? Did he lack the commitment? Did he lack, the drive? What was his ideals not as strong as Izuku? That's the questions you can ask when you see how he lost in this chapter. What makes him any different from All Might? What makes him any different from Izuku? I mean, the man had his own set of ideals. He wanted to save someone, and he was trying to save their heart, make them happy. He had people he wanted to protect. So, in that moment, what did he lack? What did he lack? What was he just lacking in everything, and he couldn't compete? And that's the message here that I get from this chapter, and it's just sad. Now, another little thing I want to point out, too, is the flickering light of All Might. When One for All was fading, and he was about to lose everything, he knew his time was at an end as the symbol of peace. He knew that his light was going out. And before his light went out, he shined brightly. He shined very, very brightly before he went down. And that theme can be applied to the beginning of this chapter and the entirety of the chapter. Gentle just swells up in flames. You see flames all around him as soon as the chapter opens up, and you see La Brava say, win, Gentle, please win, and all that, and you just see this flames, which is the equivalent to what was going on with All Might. The last remaining flames within him, he flared it up to be able to fight against the ultimate evil, and that's kind of in a way what Gentle was trying to do. He was trying to fight against Izuku to save La Brava. So, yeah, just them connections there really got to me, and just good stuff, Horikoshi. This chapter just, I'm gonna say it. I'm definitely gonna say it. Gentle is my favorite character. I think my favorite, antagonist of an arc. I can't even really call him an antagonist after this. I mean, it just, I'm gonna say I like him better than Stain. He is definitely one of my favorite characters, top 3 favorite characters of the series. The only characters I hold higher than him is All Might and Izuku. And now seeing Gentle, he's definitely there, because that just his character is just insanely good. And it's crazy that Horikoshi has developed his character to this point of how good he is in just these few little chapters. And I don't think it would have been as possible for his character to be this good if it wasn't for everything that was established with the All for One versus One for All fight. That's what really adds so much more meaning to this fight and kind of really adds context to kind of what they were fighting for in the first place. So, I just want to say right now, getting into the other details of this chapter, Gentle, he's lost. He has lost the fight. And the sad thing is that it's an expected outcome for Izuku to win, but at the same time, it's a win that we don't probably want. I feel like this is probably going to be one of the most conflicting chapters for many fans of this series, and I know for a fact anime only is when this finally does get animated, it's probably going to be one of those scenes that's going to have everybody just trying to figure out who should win. Should it be Gentle? Should it be Izuku? And Izuku wins, and technically, even though Izuku kind of won this fight, he didn't get the final finishing blow. Gentle realizes that he can't, best Izuku in time, and people are swarming in around him, so he decides to make it look like the fight never occurred, and so he knocks Izuku away, and he tries to protect La Brava, and he surrenders. He legit surrenders to UA, and it makes me wonder what's gonna happen next. I mean, I want to assume that Gentle's gonna be locked up, and it's common sense. He's probably gonna be put in jail and all of that, and I don't know if he'll be in, maximum security All for One is, or Stain, but he's probably going to serve some jail time. And I'm kind of curious on how that's going to go, and I wonder what part that's going to play with La Brava, because La Brava, obviously, people do kind of know about her. If, people trace his YouTube videos, then they know that La Brava has been with Gentle for a little bit. Even if she hasn't been actively there, they'll kind of put point A and point B together to be able to understand that La Brava has been helping him. So, in reality, La Brava's going to face some troubles herself, and the way it looks to me, I feel like this is where the League of Villains are going to come into play. Now, I did not think of this one. I've seen this mentioned quite a few times, actually, while this arc has been going on, and I just want to bring it up now. Many were saying if Gentle gets jailed, maybe that would give a reason for La Brava to join the League of Villains to free Gentle. And it seems more and more likely that could potentially happen. If Gentle does get put into jail, I could see the League of Villains getting a hold of La Brava to be able to save Gentle, and then eventually a whole prison outbreak type, arc can begin. Because we know it's only going to be a matter of time until Stain and, whatever happens to Overhaul, to, what's going to happen to, All for One. Everybody's going to be getting broke out eventually. It's just a matter of time until an arc like that happens, and I can see definitely this being set up for that in the future, a big jailbreak arc, and, seeing La Brava helping out the League of Villains take down security to be able to get out the villains inside to be able to save the person she loves, which is Gentle. And Gentle even states that La Brava would definitely do things that, worse than she's already done, crimes and stuff. So she definitely would push the limit. I could definitely see La Brava, of all people, I mean, I know she's a good person, but she would definitely break the law even more to be able to save Gentle and be with him. Because her entire life, what she lives for is Gentle, and with him gone, she basically has nothing. He's her entire symbol. So with him gone, it destroys her. So when you look at it like that, I think that what we have going on here is that somehow La Brava is going to be able to get away if they do try to arrest her, and Gentle's going to be locked up. Or they're both going to get locked up, and then La Brava is going to get out early because not a lot of charges, and then she's going to figure out a way to get him out. One or the other is possibly going to happen, but yeah. Anyways, let's get into the other stuff with, this chapter. So I want to say right now that in terms of artwork and stuff, Horikoshi was on a whole new level. It's just the way this fight was done in general, it blew me away. I still cannot believe people are telling me that this is a bad arc. Can you believe people are saying that? People are legit saying that this is one of the worst arcs of My Hero Academia. And I'm just like, Are you serious? Are you freaking serious right now? Are you legit serious? You telling me that this arc is not a good arc? We legit just had, like, a parallel to the All for One versus One for All, and you're telling me that this arc ain't good. Like, yo, what? And so, just, I don't know, I don't understand. I legit don't understand why people don't like this arc. I mean, I know it's subjective at the end of the day, it still boggles my mind because of how good this was. But okay, leaving it at that though, this is pretty much the conclusion to the arc. I guess we can count the epilogue, so we probably have one, maybe two more chapters left of this arc, but this is pretty much the main point of the arc has come to an end, and I don't really know. I don't know how to feel about it, because, I mean, I don't want Gentle to be locked up, but the more it seems, the more it looks like he is going to, unless the school tries to keep everything under wraps. Now, that's a potential possibility. Who knows? Since technically the school, if anything gets out that something happens, then they have to close everything down, which will make the school look bad. I could definitely see them trying to sweep all of this under the rug if they can. And so I do wonder if somehow Gentle or La Brava, they can, worm their way out of this, or maybe Izuku can talk about it. That would be interesting. I wonder if something like that could be done. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's just a crackpot theory, I'm just saying, but I mean, it would be pretty cool if something like that did happen in the end. Maybe Izuku talks and is like, hey, look, they're not bad, you don't need to call anybody, they're just, petty criminals, you don't need to, get anyone here and stop everything, just, let them go and all that, they're not really doing anything bad. I don't know, I could see something like that happening, but I just, it can go either way, but it was a really good arc, a really good fight. Artwork was savagely good, and just Horikoshi just amazed me as a writer. I mean, I already loved My Hero Academia. I've been loving the style of this arc. I've mentioned this many times, but just this chapter alone really just, concretes the fact of how much I love this series, especially with just how the fight and the ending of this was done. I cannot wait to see this in a couple of years. Like, I don't know when this is going to get animated, because we gotta have the whole stuff with All Might still animated, and then we gotta have the stuff with the exam, and then overhaul stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of content. Like, probably a full season. Like, season 4 will probably just end at overhaul. So, I mean, when we look at everything, there's a lot more still left to do before we get to this arc. But I cannot wait to one day see this animated. And I know eventually it's probably going to get animated, but how popular My Hero Academia is, unless Studio Bones really messes up or something. But I mean, I think that when this does get animated, this is truly going to just mesmerize everybody, especially with how the fights have looked in the manga. I can't imagine how it's going to look in the anime. But I think I'm going to end this here. It's a good chapter. I dare say it's in my top 5 favorite chapters of all time, like it for My Hero Academia. It's solid. It's a really solid chapter. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. Chibi out.